I'm Cole, and I'm joined here today with Jared Lujan, writer of Dryfoot and The Twin Blades, and we're here to talk about a new book that he has after this. So first off, Jared, thank you for joining us here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I didn't notice the antennas on the burrito until this exact moment, and I love them.
Yeah, it's the boost that we're providing. It's a little signal boost to help you. So speaking of the boost, you have a new book coming out from Action Labs called Crash and Troy. I'm going to show the cover. Do you want to give the pitch of this book to all the people?
Yeah, so Crash and Troy is about as a big space sci-fi smash 'em up story about two friends who act as mercenaries and they break someone out of prison who definitely should stay there. And now they have a whole bunch of problems on their hands. But it's a story about friendship, about becoming your best self, and Meryl Streep and cat videos.
It's really funny. I noticed early on in your promotion, you were saying you were looking into Meryl Streep for homework, and I was like, "How is this gonna fit into a sci-fi book?" And you were gracious enough to share the first issue with us. So after reading it, it makes sense now. But yeah, that was probably one of my favorite things. I guess here is issue 2. How many issues of this book are there going to be so far?
There are four issues. It's and it kind of like kicks off running. Like we start off the first issue. There's a little bit of world building, kind of get you an idea of it, but everything. I think issue one's still pretty fast paced, but everything after that is just like coming at you lightning quick. It's a really fun little intense book.
Yeah. As I mentioned, I read the first issue. There's a lot of fun comedy elements. This is like the opposite of a buddy cop story, but it kind of maybe turns into that at the end. But yeah, it's really funny. I know you mentioned friendship. I think the question for anyone that follows me on Twitter and has seen some of the interactions that we've had over the year, are you going to make me come into tears with this book? Because I feel like the lightheartedness makes it kind of scary with that.
Um, I really like a big issue three. That's my bread and butter is three issues and introduce something. Now you'll have to figure it out where it goes, but there may be tears, maybe.
And then, yeah, I know you wanted to show off some of the interior art. So
Yeah,
here's some of the full page, and we've got
yeah,
some panel work here. Who is the rest of the creator team on this besides you?
yeah. So we have an editor named Hernan Guarderas. He's a really good buddy of mine who worked with us on the book, making sure we were fine tuning it, making sure it was looking good. The artist is Kyler Claudefelter. Kyler and I have been friends for a long time. As a matter of fact, we became friends writing the Crash and Troy, working on the Crash and Troy pitch about 3 or 4 years ago. As a matter of fact, and Kyler's a phenomenal artist. Really kinetic energy. He really likes drawing these big, beefy dudes, and so we ended up playing with that quite a bit throughout the book. And the colorist is Bruno Ferlani. Bruno is a French man who is probably like the next serious big colorist in comics. Bruno does some phenomenal work, and the pairing of him and Kyler is freakishly good. Just phenomenal. Captures tone, and it's just so pretty. It's so gorgeous.
Yeah, I think this page here, really
Yeah.
it kind of shows, both the art and the colors on how they really excel in some of this, bigger stuff.
Yeah, and that was the thing. Like one of my biggest influences coming into the book is was James Gunn and how he did Guardians of the Galaxy. And there was an interview that I came across where he was talking about how he didn't want space to be like black and void. He wanted it to be colorful and to brighten it up. And that's kind of the direction we took the whole book with Bruno in. Is that we were like we want big, colorful, bright space whenever we do get to go there. We want to really flex that muscle. And so issue two has some of like the absolute coolest moments in space. It's just a really cool, really beautiful pages.
That's awesome. Yeah, and that's actually really funny that you mentioned that, because I think one of the weird jokes that we have between us here on Comic Burrito is that space, like Saga is one of my favorite books, but Cole hates space stuff because like a lot of the times I don't really like space stuff. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe I need that lighter, humory side in some of these big dark space books to really make it more enjoyable for me, which is, funny that that is exactly what this book is doing.
Yeah, I mean, when you think of like sci-fi, you think of like big metal ships and the black holes and the big space between stars and stuff like that. And I don't like mind that, but especially I don't mind it when I'm watching like Alien. Like when I'm trying to watch something that frightens me. But with Crash and Troy, it's such a bright, funny book that I was like, anytime we have a prison scene, like we have a prison scene early on in the book, there's neon lights going across it to brighten up the page. And when we have ships flying through space, there's a lot of, oh man, there's a lot of color, and it makes it a really good. It makes it really, really fun. It was really cool watching the pages come in because it was like Bruno and I were just on the same level of what we were thinking whenever it was coming to the book.
Well, that's awesome to hear. I guess, is there any way people can find you on the internet? If you don't see below, we have the diamond code for this book. We'll also have it in the show notes. But yeah, is there anything else for you on how people can find you and see anything else out there?
Yeah. So first of all, please pre-order the book. That is, please go to your shop with the diamond code and pre-order the book. Indie books live and die at pre-orders. But yeah, in terms of finding me online, you can go to right there. My little handle is always my tag. That's for me on Twitter and Instagram. I don't have like a public Facebook that I use very regularly. But yeah, you can go there, follow me, and listen to me talk about the Wu-Tang Clan. And I am wearing a shirt, and then on Instagram, I pretty much just post like panels and stuff like that. But if you want to see all the secret stuff, you can go to my website, which is Lujan, spelled just like it is on my little tag, and it writes like typewriter, like writer.com, and lujanwrites.com, and you can sign up for my newsletter. And my newsletter has all sorts of like sneak peeks. I gave all my newsletter subscribers the first 6 pages of Crash and Troy in the newsletter, so they could check that out, and lots of like preview stuff for my next books later on this year.
Well, awesome. Thanks again for coming on. And yeah, I highly recommend ordering this book, guys. I've already read the first issue. The diamond code's here. I think that if you read Dryfoot and really enjoyed, the friendships and that, you'll see that a lot here. But this is a little bit, there's a lot more humor in here, which makes it, fun and takes deeper space into something fun. So that was it. And yeah, once again, thank you for being on, Jared.
Thank you guys for having me.